Denis Sassou Nguesso is a Congolese politician who has been president of the Republic of the Congo since 1997. He was previously president from 1979 to 1992. During his first period as president, he headed the single-party regime of the Congolese Party of Labour for 12 years. Under pressure from international sources, he introduced multi-party politics in 1990 and was then stripped of executive powers by the 1991 National Conference, remaining in office as a ceremonial head of state. He stood as a candidate in the 1992 presidential election but was defeated, placing third. Sassou Nguesso was an opposition leader for 5 years before returning to power during the Second Republic of the Congo Civil War, in which his rebel forces ousted President Pascal Lissouba. Following a transitional period, he won the 2002 presidential election, which involved low opposition participation. He was re-elected in the 2009 presidential election. The introduction of a new constitution, passed by referendum in 2015, enabled Sassou Nguesso to stand for another term. He was re-elected in the 2016 presidential election with a majority in the first round. Sassou Nguesso is backed by a variety of political parties, most importantly the PCT. He is the president of the PCT Central Committee, a member of the Mabochi tribe. Sassou Nguesso was born in Edu in the Oyo district in northern Congo in 1943. His parents are Julien Nguesso and Emilienne Moebra. Nguesso was the youngest child in the family. His father Julien was a notable hunter chief in Edu. He received primary education in Fort Roussette, now Ovando. He studied in Dolisie Normal College between 1956 and 1960. He joined the army in 1960 just before the country was granted independence. He was marked for prominence and received military training in Algeria. In 1962, he returned to Congo and was reassigned to active officers with the rank of second lieutenant. He also received military training in Saint-Maximin, France, graduating with the rank of lieutenant. Before returning to join Congo's elite paratroop regiment, he was one of the first officers of the Airborne Group, the first paratroop battalion of the Congolese Army, which was created in 1965. He commanded the Airborne Group, the Army and the Brazzaville Military Zone. He had socialist leanings and supported the opposition to Fulbert Youlou in l'Histoire glorieuse of August 1963. He was later part of the 1968 military coup that brought Marine Nouabi to power. And he was a founding member of the Congolese Party of Labour in December 1969. In 1970, Sassou Nguesso was made Director of Security and a minister in the new Presidential Council. During the extraordinary session of the Central Committee of the PCT, which was held from 5 to the 12th of December 1975, the party's political bureau was dissolved and a 5-member revolutionary special staff was established with Nguesso as one of its members. When Nouabi was assassinated in March 1977, Nguesso played a key role in maintaining control, briefly heading the military committee of the party that controlled the state until the succession of Colonel Joachim Yombi Opango. Sassou Nguesso was rewarded with a promotion to colonel and the post of vice president of the CMP. He remained there until the 5th of February 1979, when Yombi Opango was forced from power in a technical coup, accused of corruption and political deviancy. On the 8th of February, the CMP chose Nguesso as the new president, and at the Third Extraordinary Congress of the PCT his position was unanimously approved on 27 March 1979. As the newly elected president, Sassou Nguesso negotiated loans from the International Monetary Fund and allowed foreign investors from France and the Americas to operate in the vital oil and mineral extraction operations. He also traveled to Moscow in 1981 to sign a 20-year friendship pact with the Soviet Union. Sassou Nguesso was re-elected for a 5-year term as president of the PCT Central Committee and President of the Republic at the party's Third Ordinary Congress on the 27th to the 31st of July 1984. He was sworn in for his new term on the 10th of November 1984. And on this occasion he announced the release of Yombi Opango. He was chairman of the Organization of African Unity from 1986 to 1987. In late 1987 he faced down a serious military revolt in the north of the country with French aid. At the PCT's Fourth Ordinary Congress on the 26th to the 31st of July 1989, Sassou Nguesso was re-elected as president of the PCT Central Committee and president of the Republic. With the collapse of the socialist states of Eastern Europe, with influence from the French, Sassou Nguesso began to prepare the process of bringing the country to capitalism. In December 1989 he announced the end of government control of the economy and declared a partial amnesty for political prisoners. Into the following year he attempted to improve the failing economic situation and reduce the outrageous levels of corruption. Starting in September 1990, political parties' oath